According to a report by Iran's Fars News, Israel reportedly attempted to assassinate 3 people, that includes Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, the parliament speaker, and the head of the judiciary, on a strike on 15th June. During the ongoing conflict, the attack targeted a meeting of Iran's Supreme National Security Council in Tehran. The strike involved 6 missiles or bombs that blocked the exits of the building, but officials were able to escape through an emergency hatch. President Pezeshkian was lightly wounded in the leg during the escape. Authorities are now investigating whether an insider may have provided information to Israel about the meeting's location. In a recent interview, Pezeshkian confirmed that Israel had tried to kill him, but did not specify whether the attempt took place during the recent conflict. Now we're joined by Dr. Satoru Nagao. He's a fellow at Hudson Institute, joining us live from Tokyo. Thank you, Doctor, for joining us today. What are the potential regional and international repercussions if Iran's claim that Israel did attempt to assassinate President Pezeshkian is substantiated?
Israel tried to eliminate the nuclear weapon development capability of Iran. In this case, most successful operation rely on the regime change. So that's why the current regime tried to seek to develop the nuclear weapon. And if regime has changed, there is a possibility the situation will drastically change. So that's why this is connected. But if the regime has changed, of course, after the changing the regime, what will happen is the matter. So that's why if there is no alternative government, one kind of the panic situation could follow. That's why the United States, which supported Israel, refused the plan of Israel to eliminate the leadership of Iran. Currently, the Trump administration do not interest in the regime change because of what happened after the Arab Spring, what happened the colored revolution after that. Without alternative government, these places could be just a civil war, area of civil war, or it will be the failed state. In this case, when the U.S. intervened in Libya, or what happened in Syria, this is a little bit burden for the international community, including the United States. So regime change is indeed a little bit difficult. And the U.S. directly involved in the Libya and Iraq, that was experience for the United States. So U.S., especially the current Trump administration, do not interest in. So originally, Israel has a plan to eliminate the leadership of Iran is logical. But at the same time, because of the U.S. Stopped Israel to kill the leadership, so Israel hesitated to do that. That is also true. And view from the capability, Israel can do that because most of the leader of the army or revolutionary guard are eliminated by Israel because of this. So Mossad infiltrated Iran, and anytime they can kill the leadership. But stopped because of the U.S. pressure, because of the policy between collaboration between U.S. and Israel finally gave up. That is logical, I believe, view from the current situation.
And Doctor, how could this incident influence the strategic calculations of other countries that have interest in maintaining balance between Israel, Iran, and their allies?
Of course, balance will change because currently there are 3 powers in the Middle East. One is Iran, another one is Israel, but at the same time, most important is Saudi Arabia too. So, because Saudi Arabia is Sunni Arabs leader, Iran is the Shia Arabs leader, and Israel is not Muslim. So that's why the balance will collapse if the Iranian regime loses power. So view from the Iranian regime's policy, of course, this is provoking both against Israel and Saudi Arabia. But at the same time, if the regime itself has collapsed, of course, this will be the uncharted world for both Saudi Arabia and Israel. And of course, for Iran, this is also. currently there is many resistance has happened or demonstrations happen in Iran. That's true, but at the same time, it is also true that most of the Middle Eastern powers, uncharted world is also concerned.
And Doctor, how might this alleged assassination attempt affect the already tense dynamics between Israel and Iran?
I think, of course, most important worry for Israel is nuclear weapon program in Iran. Because once Iran uses a nuclear weapon and Israel tries to retaliate, Israel is far smaller than Iran. This means that Israel will be destroyed by the Iran's nuclear weapon, but Iran can survive if the capability is same between Iran and Israel. So if once Iran possesses a nuclear weapon, this is very dangerous for Israel. So Israel must stop Iran to possess a nuclear weapon. In this case, what should they do is, before Iran possesses nuclear weapons, they need to intervene. That's why this time Israel bombed Iran. And in this case, most successful operation is changing regime itself and changing the will of the policy itself and changing the capability to develop the nuclear weapon. All of these, Israel must do it. So that's why the changing the regime in Iran is preventing Iran to possess nuclear weapon for Israel.
Thank you.
So that